Last year, the movie industry's box office revenue was a meager $40 billion. Total revenue made in the games industry last year was $108 billion. That is a lot of cheese. Now, who took all the cheese? Where's all the cheese gone?
Market intelligence firm Newzoo recently published the results of their research into the top grossing video game companies. At the top of the list was Chinese mega publisher Tencent, who made a little over $18 billion in revenue in 2017. Tencent is pretty much the world's largest gaming company, owning shares in developers like Epic Games, Riot Games, and even Ubisoft. And the company's position can be attributed to a few things. First off, they own Epic Games, like we said, which means they have a stake in Fortnite, which is currently the most popular game in the world. Second, Tencent have an exclusive partnership with Bluehole and PUBG Corp for the rights to operate player-unknown's battlegrounds in China. Finally, the company also owns and operates the online gaming portal WeGame, which is basically a Chinese version of Steam, offering game downloads and streaming services. Second place on the corporate rich list went to Sony, who made $10.5 billion, and in third place is surprisingly Apple, who made $8 billion in gaming revenue. Rounding out the top 10 is Microsoft in fourth with $7.1 billion, Activision Blizzard in fifth with $6.5 billion, followed by NetEase in sixth with $5.6, Google is in seventh with $5.3 billion, EA is eighth with $5.1, Nintendo is in ninth with $3.6, and Bandai Namco is in 10th with $2.4 billion. That's all you got, Bandai Namco. That's $2.4 billion is all you got.
Not worth getting out of bed for, is it?
Don't even deserve your place in the top 10 with those kind of numbers. Tencent's the biggest one. So Apple being in the top 3 has really surprised me.
App Store in it. It's got to be the app. Yeah. It's the cut of the they must make 30% on every App Store purchase, which is why that is the thing.
Huge surprise though to see them up there. Sony, I guess, you'd probably put them up there between the hardware and they had a big year last year. Remember, this is revenue in terms of money they had actually coming in. So this doesn't reflect the actual, I guess, the size of the companies, like which company is the biggest and owns the most stuff. This is just how much money they made last year. But Tencent is just raking it in. That is the biggest headline.
Yeah, the surprise omission for me is Valve. Where the hell are they on the list? They should be making loads of money.
Very true, yeah.
But they're not there. Bandai Namco are making more than them with a paltry $2.4 billion. Obviously, Valve are making loads of money, but are they hiding it? No, they can't hide it.
I'm sure Valve aren't hiding their money.
Maybe.
Valve's lawyers.
Battlefield 1, the last big title in DICE EA's military shooter series, has lost 65% of its players since it launched back in October 2016. The stats site Battlefield Tracker showed it had a peak player population of about 569,000 players at launch. But the latest readings for May 2018, some 18 months later, have it closer to 90,000 players. That's players across PC, PS4 and Xbox One. PS4 has consistently been the most popular platform, except for a small spike in March 2017 when the Xbox One briefly took the lead.
It doesn't really surprise me, to be honest. I feel like it's actually good, if anything. 65% over the course of 18 months it's alright. It's pretty good going. I think people will look at this and compare it to Battlefield 4, which had a very different story because it was a disappointing launch, really buggy, it was a mess, and then after a while it really became a good game, and it had this upward trend. It's like one of Ubisoft's games or something recently. It just kind of bad start, great finish. So this doesn't look as good comparatively to that, I guess, because the slide is going down, but it makes total sense. Like we've been talking in other videos, the shooter genre is incredibly crowded and competitive. The fact that they've kept that amount of players playing Battlefield, it's good. I think 40,000 active players or whatever it is good.
I actually think it's impressive to have a peak player count of 90,000 in May this year, almost 2 years, 18 months after release. I think that is a really good retention rate for, like Mike said, this crowded genre that it's competing in. If those stats were alongside the other games in the genre, it would rate favourably against them. So this isn't really news, it's actually saying that it's done really well.
And last up in the news, every year EVE Online players vote to elect representatives to the Council of Stellar Management, which is a community-run government who have direct contact with EVE's development team. Voting for this year's council begins on June the 4th, and there are around 50 candidates who have been accepted. There is one candidate who does kind of stand out a bit, being that he is an actual politician. Brisk Rubal, or as he's known in real life, Brian Schuh, Schoenemann is a career politician who currently works as a lobbyist and lawyer in the field of maritime law. Schoenemann is an avid EVE player in his spare time, and he reckons he would be a great fit for the CSM.
In an interview with Kotaku, Schoenemann said, quote, "I think the largest single thing I can bring to the CSM is that I have been doing what is effectively the CSM's role for my entire political career. If we replace government with CCP, union members with the player base, and country with the game world, I'm already basically a CSM. That's literally my day job." Schoenemann also spoke a bit about his game's credentials, revealing he's been playing EVE since 2006 and how he got his start on MMOs by playing Star Wars Galaxies in 2003. Kotaku then asked Schoenemann if he felt concerned about sharing his fondness for EVE and if this might impact his real-world career. Schoenemann responded saying, "Maybe 20 years ago this would be weird, but given how mainstream gaming has become with Twitch streamers and YouTube stars making millions of dollars, how can anyone say you're throwing your life away playing these games? I'd rather be attacked for playing EVE than for being a liar or doing something truly bad."
Yeah, it's not really saying much, that, I don't think, but it's exactly what a politician does. He's kind of proving what he's saying here by sounding like a politician. He's saying, like, I think lying is bad. I like this guy. I like what this guy's got to say.
He's got something to say.
Yeah, he's so there you go. He's a politician, or he's a veteran kind of Republican politician, I think. And there you go. He plays a lot of EVE, and he wants to transfer his skills into the EVE Council. What a game EVE is, by the way.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? And this guy has released a kind of, what would you call it? Like a
campaign video.
Campaign video, and it's
with editing.
It's great. it's really funny. You'd expect something not good from a politician who wants to be elected in EVE Online. You'd expect something really cringy, but it's actually really fun. If any of you play EVE Online, who I've done in the past, you will relate to a lot of what's in the video. It's worth watching. There's a link down in the description. Do you play EVE Online? Are you going to vote for this guy? Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Check out another one of the videos on your screen there. Support us on Patreon using that link right there. We'll see you again in the next video, and until then, bye for now.